wish I found some better sounds no one's ever heard. I wish I had a better voice that sang some better words. I wish I found some chords in an order that is new. I wish I didn't have to rhyme every time I sang. I was told when I get older all my fears would shrink, but now I'm insecure and I care what people think. My name's Blurry Face and I care what you think. My name's Blurry Face and I care what you think. Wish we could turn back time to the good old days when the mama sang us to sleep, but now it's just that. Will take me back to when I was young. How come I'm never able to identify where it's coming from? I'd make a candle out of it if I ever found it. Try to sell it, never sell out of it. I probably only sell one. Maybe to my brother, cause we have the same nose, same clothes, homegrown, a stone's throw from a creek we used to roam. But it would remind us of when nothing really mattered. Out of student loans and treehouse homes, we all would take the ladder. My name's Blurry Face and I care what you think. My name's Blurry Face and I care what you think. Wish we could turn back time to the good old days when the mama sang us to sleep, but now it's just that. Saying wake up, you need to make money. Yeah, we used to play pretend, give each other different names. We would build a rocket ship and then we fly far away. Used to dream of outer space, but now they're laughing at the face, saying wake up, you need to make money. Yeah, wish we could turn back time to the good old days when the mama sang us to sleep, but now it's just that. Wish we could turn back time.
With 7 drive modes, Nissan Pathfinder can go pretty much anywhere.
I wish I found some better sounds no one's ever heard. I wish I had a better voice that sang some better words. I wish I found some chords in an order that is new. I wish I didn't have to rhyme every time I sang. I was told when I get older all my fears would shrink, but now I'm insecure and I care what people think. My name's Blurry Face and I care what you think. My name's Blurry Face and I care what you think. Wish we could turn back time to the good old days when the mama sang us to sleep, but now it's just that. Smell will take me back to when I was young. How come I'm never able to identify where it's coming from? I'd make a candle out of it if I ever found it. Try to sell it, never sell out of it. I probably only sell one. Maybe to my brother, cause we have the same nose, same clothes, homegrown, a stone's throw from a creek we used to roam. But it would remind us of when nothing really mattered. Out of student loans and treehouse homes, we all would take the ladder. My name's Blurry Face and I care what you think. My name's Blurry Face and I care what you
What is going on, everyone? Welcome to the SIRL round 14 of some Supercross. Tonight we got our 250 East-West Shootout. Going to be watching the 250 West heat race tonight. Definitely going to try and jump into that LCQ right after this one as well. Tonight in the booth, the man just jumped in. Seymour, welcome, brother. How we doing?
Doing great. How are we?
Doing well. Looks like we already got some boys in the chat. What's going on, everyone? Kira, I believe so. I have had some issues with getting some things downloaded, but I think I was able to get yours in. Big Bear, I know, but got to pay the bills somehow.
Oh, they love the ads. Don't let them fool you. We all love the ads.
Everybody talks bad about them, but you know how you get rid of them? $5.99. I hate to be that way, but this is something that I'm trying to just get better and better at, try and bring you guys better content. And with that, it's going to be some higher prices. But it does look like we are getting ready to head down to the gate for our heat race for the West Coast.
Want to throw your Discord stream?
Yes, sir. Jump on over to that as we get things rolling here. The stream over on that. Would have that there for you. All right. And here we are with out here in Nashville. Beautiful city. Like I said, we do have the 250 West on the gate. These revs are going to go up here for heat race number 1. Some big names here in this heat race. We got Kozak, Brock W, Fear Murda, Turbo, Bechtel, Fresh, Smuds, Drake. Some big heavy hitter names as the gate is down for a great night of racing.
Absolutely stacked tonight.
Coming into turn 1, it looks like Smud's going to squeak the whole shot. Right with him is going to be his teammate, Brock W. Around the outside, trying to make that early pass. Kozak with that AEO Canvas team as well, running in that number 4 spot. Looks like that's beasting on the Sure Visuals. KTM battling it out there with Brock W. Brock W going to run it in deep on him there and actually take him out. Bechtel getting a little squirrely up the finish line.
Brock W, a little karma there. Has to roll the finish line.
Going to fall a few positions. A few
Pacing
guys
back
in here.
around him.
Fear Murda buried in the back. He is a guy that is up in this points contention as he's going to go down. Unfortunate start to his race. We know he has the speed to make a comeback on that. As we jump back out here to our early leaders, looks like Kozak on that AEO Canvas KTM going to be out to that early lead. He's followed by his teammate Smuds, and Turbo with Sure Visuals AEO going to be in that number 3. Anderson on Anderson Graphics Co. in that number 4 spot.
Beasting a huge mistake.
Beaston actually getting passed by Max there. A lot of riders in here on that AEO Canvas team. They're starting to look like Star here.
They got a new look with the canvas gear. It's interesting. It's different. We've been with Epic Star for so long.
Right.
It's hard to identify them.
I'm digging it. I like that canvas gear, honestly.
I do as well. I think
you
it's a
said
sweet
it's
kit.
good good kind of change up from what we've seen from these guys for a number of years now.
I like that all three of our AEO guys, all four of the AEO guys in this heat are running the same kit too. Looks well.
Agreed. Yeah, I know the Normsco guys try and do that same thing. Obviously, everybody on that KTM 250 kind of blends in well with everyone. I don't know. I guess nobody sent me their bikes, or it's a model swap issue, but
More than likely, they probably got a model on.
is
I'll
Turbo's
tell
going
you
to
what,
make a
we have
mistake?
lost our Keller here just weeks after the OEM update. We are back to a sea of orange.
I know. It was awesome to see all the different bikes coming into these early rounds, and it seems like people have started to find their comfy spot, and it looks like we're back on the pumpkin there.
Yeah. Interesting to see not a single Cowie in the field, at least not for this first heat here.
Right? Yeah. I
A
mean,
lot of people were enjoying that bike early.
I know people were commenting that it was underpowered, and that's why a lot of people were opting off it. But as we're seeing Kozak out front on that AEO canvas bike, making it look easy, about a 6-second lead now up and over his teammate Smuds. Max and Brock W still keeping a charge, trying to catch up to Smuds and Kozak there. Looks like we do have a battle and some different names in here. Now we have Turbo on that Sure Visuals AEO. Battling it out with Brock W. We got Anderson with Anderson Graphics Co. and Shark once again with that AEO canvas. There's Drake with the Moto Factory and Beaston on that Sure Visuals. Had a few mistakes early on trying to make a charge to the front here. I was trying to take a look at his kit earlier. I believe it's like a muck off ATM, if I'm not mistaken.
Whatever it is, it looks pretty good, and that's no surprise. Sure, visual guys always look great.
And he's definitely making it look clean here too. Trying to charge his way further up into this pack. We take a look back. I believe Omnipotent is going to be our number 9 spot. So he is currently sitting in that last transfer spot. And actually
There
looks
he
like
is, finish line.
he's going to be on the Dookie. And if I'm not mistaken, and I feel like we haven't had full confirmation on this yet, but I believe Omnipotent is, forgive me, yeah, is Kelso.
Well, he's making that Suzuki look great. I have a soft spot for that.
He's making that yellow machine look good. Obviously, like I said, holding on to that number 9 spot right now into that
And
qualifying.
reeling, he's catching this pack of guys in front of him. I think they've all got a big battle going on, slowing each other up. Case in the triple there with Turbo, and Omnipotent is just riding smooth on a creep, dodging bikes.
We look for that number 10th rider. There he is. It's going to be Jax on that MDC JVS RC KTM. Mouthful of sponsors there. Following him is going to be Drake with the Motor Factory. Fear Murda trying to make a charge back up after a few early mistakes. Bechtel, a guy that we know can run this pace. Once again, buried in the back. Bear on that DCH ATM. His bike and gear set always looks so clean.
Yeah, but Bechtel there actually a lap down. He was a lap or something must have went wrong. Got him logged at 19th.
Ooh.
As he's still trying to make a move here, it seems, on the guys a lap ahead of him. But
Ooh, Drake with a little mistake there, going to allow Bechtel to get around him. Fear Murda once again still charging hard, trying to get his way into that top 9 so he does not have to go to that LCQ. Nobody wants to be in that position.
especially not tonight, because these events are stacked.
Yeah, must have had a few mistakes here. Omnipotent looks like he's moved himself up into that number 6 spot, getting around Anderson, Shark, and Turbo. This is
That
going
was
to
that pack I spoke of. That pack got separated. Maybe somebody made a big mistake and we missed it, and Omnipotent just made the advantage.
And now with that, it looks like 10th and 11th have caught up to that qualifying spot. Actually, looks like Jax has it on the leaderboard. Turbo must have a cut somewhere in there. So this is actually going to come down to the wires. We are actually into our last lap. Kozak still about 10 seconds out on his teammate Max. Smuds riding nice and consistent in that number 3. Brock W. Running strong in that number 4 spot. Beastin in the Sure Visuals is going to make his way back up into that number 5. Omnipotent, after a few mistakes of people in front of him, he's actually going to see himself into that number 6 spot. Anderson with that Anderson Graphics Company is going to be up into that number 7. Shark into 8th. Jax, Turbo, and Fear battling it out for that last qualifying position.
So definitely dealing with some cuts here as Fear is ahead of him on the leaderboard.
Going to get interesting as we get down to these last few corners. Is anybody going to be going for it? I would think that neither one of these guys. Oh, and Turbo makes a
and Fear
mistake.
get tangled.
Oh, and it's going to collect Fear. And just kind of taking a look as riders coming across the finish line. Once again, Kozak, AEO, Canvas going to be taking that number 1 spot in the 250 West heat race. Max into that number 2. Smuds number 3. Brock W number 4. Beastin on that Sure Visuals KTM in that number 5 spot. Omnipotent on that Dookie going to be coming across in 6th. Anderson in that 7th. Shark in 8th. Jax in 9th. Turbo and Fear Murda, after getting tangled up, are going to come across in that 10th and 11th place as we have a second here.
The Benetton Blitz array. Beautiful.
Yeah, I've been wanting to see this kit. He was riding around earlier. Finally able to get him sitting still.
Pipe is beautiful. I'm not sure who put the stickers on it, but it looks great.
I'd say they may need to talk to that guy, but that's a model swap issue. As you can see,
That's just a custom heat guard right there.
Oh, okay. Thank you, Kira, in the chat there for calling Omnipotent out as Kelso. Like I said, we've heard it in the past, so I'd always like to kind of confirm, keep my shelf sharp on that. Jalen in here, AEO signs their 500th rider. Definitely was a dominated AEO 250 main or 250 heat race tonight. Not quite sure if it looks.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 AEO riders on that gate.
That's absolutely crazy. Let's actually.
That's
jump
a third
over
of the moto.
Yeah, look at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We had 7 riders on that AEO team. Clearly making it work though, as most of these riders are going to be advancing straight through. I always like to take a look at our fastest lap times here. Max actually going to be the fastest of this group with a 51 flat. Just kind of taking a look over at our qualifying times. These guys were actually getting down into the 50s, about mid 50.4, 50.7. So really not far off their fastest qualifying times. Kozak actually was our fastest qualifier. It's going to be sitting in that number 3 spot in that heat race. Beastin, once again, running in that 51, and then Smuds is the first rider there outside of that 51 category. Honestly, with this track, though, it being so small, to me, it really comes down to staying as consistent as possible. If these guys are making mistakes, you could be running a 50 flat, but if you're on the ground, it's really not doing you much. So definitely going to want to stay consistent and make sure that you're staying up on that bike, even if you're running 52s. It may not be the worst thing. It is as long as you can stay up off the ground. As we see Smuds there took 3rd overall in this heat race.
Yeah, absolutely. And to run a 51 or a 52 and do it consistently, that's an incredible race pace.
Most definitely, yeah. Just taking a look over at chat here as we are getting ready for the LCQs. Bear saying that his audio quit working at the gate. And that's unfortunate. We know you definitely got the speed to be hanging up there with some of these guys. So definitely looking forward to seeing you in that LCQ. Yeah, we were commenting at the beginning of this start. Definitely an interesting one. We didn't see too much carnage in that heat race. But obviously, there is definitely more motos to be had, and definitely a lot more carnage to be seen throughout that turn one. Jump
I'm
on
sure it
back
would
to the
be.
booth here while we're getting things rolling here, as we got lovely Nashville back behind us. I know a lot of these riders down hanging out on that 4th Street partying it up. Seymour, have you ever been to Nashville?
Not now. I've been wanting to get down there for quite some time, but I've just not made it happen.
I've heard a lot about it. I'm actually going for the first time here come New Year's, so it's gonna be an interesting experience. Anybody in the chat ever been there?
Definitely willing to bet you're gonna get pretty rowdy. That seems to be the occasion in Nashville.
That's definitely the hope. Looks like we got the man, the myth, the legend, Bryce, in the chat with us, all the way out there in the middle of nowhere, Middle East. Always love to see his name pop up. Make sure that he's doing good out there. He's calling out your logo there. Lawnmower is insane.
Not quite sure what he means by that, but I personally, I love it. It's what I do. Just cutting grass, brother.
What I forgot what was the logo I put on it?
Smoking grass.
Oh yeah, smoking grass one blade at a time.
Yeah. Now it's an interesting mower nonetheless. It's more like a grandpa mower there. That's not what I'm dealing with, but we'll take it.
You're on those zero turns and things of that nature. I was looking at those those model swaps, but they weren't great for putting logos on.
I'll tell you what, this time of night I need me a mower like that to sit down and relax on so it works.
Just cruise around. I used to have one growing up, and I loved it.
I remember being real young. Grandpa put a rock on the seat so the motor would engage and I'm just
Yep.
cruising.
Yep. Used to try and figure out how to wheelie him, doing burnouts with him.
Oh yeah.
Push up against a tree and just let the thing eat.
Have you seen the videos where guys are like modding the engines of those mowers and putting turbos on them, making drift mowers and
Yeah,
shit?
I'd be lying if I said I didn't think about doing that.
Some people just really live the life.
I think that'd be so sweet to have a race mower.
Chat, anybody in chat have any like exotic vehicles or do anything crazy mod wise to their car? Drop it,
Cars.
two-step it,
Yeah, anything?
squat it, and we got any squatters in the chat?
Down towards my neck of the woods. Red.
Does a helicopter count? Absolutely. That is the most badass response of all time.
So I know Red's got the race cars.
Any PV, yes, I have a squatted truck. This guy's from South Carolina, Georgia area.
100%.
No doubt about
100%
it.
in South Carolina.
Red robbing the hood. Red robbing the hood.
That's
Says he has a race car.
that's Red from Normsco.
He has a race car.
He's got a crazy car. He's got a I believe it's a, oh god, he might kill me here. I think it's 240. I think it's a
Big Bear
Nissan.
has a Peterbilt.
Yeah, there we go. Nissan 240, and if I'm not mistaken, he's right around 900 horse. Yeah, Big Bear, I know he's a truck driver. Gotta respect that to those guys. I actually work in the industry of trucking, so can definitely appreciate the drivers out there. I was gonna say, I think Bryce takes the cake here. I mean, I don't think anybody's beaten a Blackhawk.
No, absolutely not.
He was showing me videos the other day of him flying through New York City in a Blackhawk.
Oh, that's amazing.
So yeah, even Red with his almost 1,000 horsepower 240. I don't think that comes close to the Blackhawk.
No, Blackhawk picked that thing right on up. It's a bucket list for me to do the this could be controversial, but the hog hunting from a helicopter, I think that looks absolutely
Yeah,
amazing.
that would be so sick. That would be awesome.
You know what? I think Bryce might be a close second now after I read Killa 46. He says, "Does a lifted golf cart with 26-inch chromes on it count?" I'm not sure why it being white isn't a significant detail, but
Is that like, are we talking like the standard like golf course like off white? Like,
I hope so.
does it have like the golf club marks across it? And
Probably not. This thing's probably a gem.
it's probably like
Oh,
pearl
he
white.
says
Oh
yes.
yes.
That makes honestly it's even better if it's a beat up golf cart lifted 26-inch chromes on it. The golf course golf cat. I think that takes a cake for me, a little bias.
Bryce saying he's got an 89 Honda Civic on 24s. 34s.
34s.
Holy.
And when he said 24s, that's what I was thinking. Those are some fat ass tires. Put a Cummins on the golf cart. Oh
Dude,
boy.
so I used to have it was only like a 4-inch lift on a golf cart. Had the thing painted like candy orange. And the one thing that I always wanted to do to it till I absolutely exploded the the rear diff on it, was putting a Honda CRF 150 in it.
Oh, that would be amazing.
That's a very common thing to do to a lot of those golf carts. Um, Killa, if you're thinking about it, definitely look into it. I'm pretty sure
That's amazing.
they make kits that like almost bolt right in. Dude, those Japanese trucks are sick. I want one so bad.
MXB Spicy says he has a lifted golf cart with massive mutters on it and a camp wrap.
That's sick.
I'm loving the modded golf cart conversation here.
Dude, honestly, in the world of motocross, though, that I feel like that's
It's
just a
huge.
normal thing. Of course, we're watching the West, and the East heat race was a wild one. Just for you guys that are listening in as well, if you guys are running 450, your qualifying just went up. Make sure you guys are paying attention to that. Looking at the SIRL Discord and keeping up on those race day updates. MXB Spice saying how much longer we got. I know, unfortunately, with these East-West shootouts, it's a lot of manual process for pressure. So I know he's trying his best over there. They never really gave a great way to do any of it. So until we get notice from him, we're kind of just hanging out. And like I said, talking about our lifted golf carts here. I'm really shocked though that we don't have anybody with like a slam boosted mower or any shopping carts out there with like 50cc on it.
Modded shopping cart, legendary. We get
Boy.
Killa getting excited.
Right. I struck a nerve with him on that one. Looks like he has a lot to say about these slam mowers. Broke the tire on his, but once it's fixed. I always thought it'd be so sick to build a mower, slam it, obviously like remove the deck and everything off it, and turn it into like almost a drift mower. I think that'd be so sick.
Yeah, those drift mowers are pretty fun looking.
What is Bryce saying? I'm guessing Casco is supposed to be Costco.
Yeah, Bryce's typing has been a little off put this evening.
Is that supposed to say I got a Costco LS swapped race car?
I think so.
Imagine putting an LS on a shopping cart. Is Killa is he the guy on YouTube that did like the Barbie one? I feel like he's got a lot of toys here.
Sounds like it. It could be a fibber.
Looks like we still got about 22 people hanging out with us. You guys got any buddies or anything that want to come watch a race, make sure you share that link out to them that I have there in the SIRL Discord. Kill it. Yeah, this must we're talking up his alley right here. He's going crazy on this. I figured Bryce was making most of this up.
Yeah, I knew it from Killa as well.
I guess kind of as we're waiting for things to get rolling here, have you put many laps down here on Nashville?
It's been a while. I meant to play it today, but I got caught up in the double XP hype over on the Call of Duty verse.
Oh man, I completely missed that. Big Bear redeeming that hydrate. I got you, brother.
Track looks fun though, but I do know that some of the guys weren't having too much fun on it.
Yeah, I heard that it is a very technical track. Obviously, with the lap times that we just saw, um, it's a pretty short one. Um, but to that, definitely breeds some interesting racing, some bar banging, and hopefully it's gonna be a good night of racing.
Completely agree. Yeah, I miss the way Supercross was in the 2010 era, early teens, when lap times were like a minute 15, a minute 20. I remember Arena Cross was like anything from 28 to 45 seconds, and now we have some Supercrosses that are 49 seconds, 50 seconds, 52 seconds.
I was to say Detroit. I mean, I'm pretty sure some of those guys are running like 45s.
Yeah, it's basically just Arena Cross.
Big Bear saying it's not an easy track. It's super tight. I mean, especially as we get into these mains, a lot of fast guys racing tonight. So it's definitely going to be an interesting one. Once again, always a little shout out. If you guys aren't following the Twitch, make sure you guys hit that follow button, get notified when we are going live. Like I said, we do stream this SIRL series every Sunday night. Additionally to that, anybody that's anybody that's into any other other of these series, I would say the MXL Pro and AM nights, Monday and Wednesdays, we stream those. And additionally to that, we do the TPR OCE MX1 series on Tuesday nights. Also, if any of you guys are running any series, make sure you guys reach out. Would love to partner up. Love to work with you guys. What did I see come across here?
You can tell Mr. Bryce from AB Customs is just bored at work because him and Killa 46 are just going back and forth with the imagination. I love it.
Oh, Killa's got another one. He said, "Hear me out." A hell of a specific time. 34.798.
Quite a bold prediction.
Bryce always out here supporting. Always love to see that man in chat. He does have that VIP icon. I don't know why my leaderboard's reset there, but Bryce actually is our top donator of gifted subs. I believe he's at like 16. I could be wrong on that one. A big shout out to Bryce there. It looks like we did just have Matt join us in the booth. What's going on, brother?
Hey, sorry I'm late. How's it going?
Oh, going good, going good. Yeah, we were just able to watch the 250 West heat race. Things went good. So now we're just kind of hanging out, waiting to get getting these LCQs up and running.
Oh, I just love the LCQs, man. They can be so wild.
We're excited for him. That is for sure.
I always get excited for the LCQs because these guys are really gonna go for it for them transfer spots.
What are these? What's chat going off on here? Getting backflips on? No, Bears. Pook for damn. A lot of Bear fans in here. Where I say we didn't have to bring the financial crisis back up. Big shout out to those guys. I believe that was 2 weeks ago. Bryce and Dean got into a little bit of a gifted sub battle there for a little bit. Bryce coming out on top. Always love to shout out the homies over there. Those guys at AB Customs. Bryce always putting out fantastic gear and bikes for his team and anybody else that's looking for it.
Got a little bit of bad news here, boys. Pressure just added the race day updates and said the servers are currently down and he cannot get to any of the deadies or results. Gonna give it 15-20 minutes to start working, and if nothing changes, unfortunately gonna have to reschedule the race. So
Oh no.
That
a
is terrible.
little bit of difficulty here with the MXB system.
Yilla saying, how does one get such status? I wouldn't say I got
Hey.
status yet, but
Bryce said after party.
after
Pick
party
me
at
up in
your
the
place?
helicopter, brother. Bring the Blackhawk over. Pick me up.
How does one become as special ed? It took years of riding the short bus to accomplish that one.
When you prestige to the point of wearing the helmet so you don't lick the windows, that's how you get that special.
I will say they taste different on the short ones. And those of you that don't know, my name is Ed as well, so it kind of works.
What I'm saying, Bryce. Have a little party in the helicopter. Probably what Kobe was doing.
Really digging this this Nusco Husqvarna lawnmower.
You like that?
That's what I need to cut my grass.
And I gotta get you one now. To work with you to set something up. Also, Bryce, it says that he is the current hype train conductor. Did I miss something?
Bryce is?
What it says on his name.
Bryce is pretty hype. I said.
I think he's just in the chat getting everybody fired up, and Twitch knows about it.
Fair enough. Fair enough. We'll always take that. I see you guys in there hitting that follow button. Really appreciate that, y'all. Like I said, make sure you guys shout us out anywhere that you guys can. The more attention we get, the bigger we can make this broadcast booth. More people we can get in here. That just means the more people I can or more series I can run, more people I can have in the booth with me. I do have a lot of big things kind of on the horizon here, so definitely make sure you guys hang out with us and stick with us.
Hang loose and stay tuned.
It's Linksy. If you are looking to join join racing, make sure you look at the website. It's called mymxb.com. All of the racing gets posted up there. That's where you sign up for everything. So that's definitely your kind of first start there. But I will say, in order to get competitively racing in this game, I know a lot of these guys are well into the thousands of hours. So definitely don't be shocked if you jump in and you're not able to qualify for anything.
I have about half of that. And
There's
I think
a
I'm
link
still
for
on
you,
training
Linksy.
wheels.
Oh, it got kicked. Didn't like the link.
Oh, really? Maybe I broke a rule. Oops.
I don't think I have rules. Hold on. Let me set you as a mod. Can you try and repost it there? Hear me out. Yeah, there you go. Special versus Seymour mechanical bull riding competition in bikinis. Damn. I have the perfect place for it too. We got Coyote Joe's in Charlotte.
Oh boy,
Got a
here we
mechanical
go.
bull.
Charlotte SMX. Schedule it out.
Special media live streaming. Bikini bull riding.
Talk about a subathon.
That would be crazy. Bryce said he
Be
paid to
drunk,
see
naked,
it.
and worn out by the end of the stream.
Drunk, naked, and worn out. It's a hell of a combo. Still no updates on the racing here. I was hoping that we were going to be able to get some awesome racing in tonight. I don't know if it's all MXB servers or if it's just what Pressure's trying to do here. Instead, unfortunately, we're going to have to just hang tight, kind of wait for any updates from that side. I'll say Bryce seems like he's struggling today on the keyboard. Top viewed moments of 2025 is me and Seymour riding a mechanical bull.
Be interesting.
We'll get Bev in there too.
Oh.
All the commentators, Matt, Bev, Dean, Seymour. Maybe we'll even get Seawalk up here.
Oh, that's a show there.
Might would have somewhat of an advantage of you the writing part. I wouldn't say so much on the part.
Bryce saying his interest has suddenly been peaked to an all-time high. It'd be a hell of a thing to orchestrate. But like you said though, that is a good point because we do have the SMX that comes to Charlotte. If they're doing it again, who knows? Maybe we do make that happen. Maybe we commentate the actual races trackside.
That would be cool. We do a simulcast. They would shut us down faster than they shut down Matt Burkeen, though.
Probably.
Well, maybe if we weren't recording the race, we could do it like one of Joe Rogan's MMA shows where it just talk over it. And then after the race, bikini bull ride.
That's the after party that Bryce was talking about.
Yep, absolutely.
Ethan, we think the 450s will still race. Like I said, I'm not quite sure on the side of these servers if it is a MXB wide kind of thing or if it's just these dedicated servers and he's not able to pull results. I'm really hoping that we are going to get some racing tonight. Like I said, just kind of hang out with us. Feel free to hang out in the chat. Bryce saying, yeah, straight to the after party.
Bryce wants to skip the racing in Charlotte. He's going to be at the bar waiting for the after party.
He's just hanging out there the whole night. It's a country bar right down the road from me. They got a big mechanical bull that's like permanent there.
I love it. I've never actually ridden the mechanical bull.
We'll do like a whole donation thing of you choose what we wear.
Oh boy. We start with like several layers on. And they have to donate it apart.
Every goal, something comes off.
Bryce says he's actually never drank.
Yeah, but he's in the army. Come on now.
Like, I don't drink. I do steroids like a real man.
Jeezy saying 450 gonna be stacked. Did 450 results get posted? Trying to see here.
They couldn't access the daddies or results, so I'm not sure.
Damn. Ethan said took a blanker before qualifying, qualified 13th in 450A.
Still in. That's all that matters. The whole night could change, once you're in the race. So.
Right.
Couldn't have done it without the blinker.
Cheesy heading to that LCQ once again. All right.
All right, Cheesy. The LCQs, they put a little hair on your chest. And that's on facts, Ethan.
Say Ethan. Quoting Twitch there. The real Twitch, not the streaming service. Kill is saying I try better drunk, but we don't always see eye to eye. I'm not seeing a couple normal faces that I usually see in here. Haven't seen Splash yet. Yeah, it sounds good, Bryce. Yeah, I wasn't sure where to post that.
Stram.
Steam Stram.
Stram.
Yeah, wasn't sure where to post it. I knew Bev had posted it in the promotions before, but
Hey, here we go. MXer said 2D LCQ is up. We must have had the Daddies come back around town.
take a
He
look.
said, be there or be square, everybody. So if you're racing at the 250 LCQ, fire up your game, boys.
Take a look on my side, see if that is true. $250 combined LCQ. I think that would be it.
Gotta be it. Here we go. Good news, ladies and gentlemen.
Hopefully we are whitelisted. We are.
Let's go racing.
Yeah.
Boogity, boogity, boogity.
Ethan saying Twitch is the GOAT. I would definitely agree with that. He is in that FMX world is different level. All those guys have screws loose though. I mean, every single one of the Drew what's his name there? Adams? Drew Adams? No, Drew Adams is the young 250 rider.
Yeah.
He's the pro circuit rider now.
What was his name? I'm drawing a blank on some of those. It's been so long since I've watched a lot of those
Nate
guys.
Adams?
Nate Adams, that's it. Yep.
Nate Adams, that is the guy. He's still a madman.
Yeah, he still gets after it. Robbie Madison. Legend.
Right, yeah. Yes, Bryce, this is round 14.
Patrick Evans, the dude's gnarly.
Yep.
You know, Patrick Evans was just a filmer. And he says he taught himself how to ride and throw whips off MX Simulator.
That's insane.
Yeah, Ethan,
Well, I
correct me there,
think,
Nate Adams. Taka
I think
is
after
crazy.
X Games, man, the boys started learning a new trick with these electric bikes, being able to flip them up like they do.
Yeah,
had
I
seen,
have mixed feelings if they should be allowed there or not. I mean, they
I
are
think FMX,
they're
not
heavy,
really.
but
Yeah, they're
torque
heavy.
is instant, and so I mean, being able to get upside down like we saw is, I mean, it's definitely there.
The biggest thing that helps out the electric bike is less rotational mass. And you're
Yep.
able to just throw that thing upside down. Where the 450 motors have so many rotating parts, it makes it actually feel heavier than it is, if that makes sense.
450 heats are up as well.
I was gonna say, I was just about to shout that out. If you guys are in the 450 class, make sure you guys jump over there. I don't know if pressure whitelisted me or not, so maybe after this LCQ we might be able to jump over and catch the end of some of the heat racing on the 450 side. Additionally to that, we are running our mains separate, so we're gonna get to watch both 250 and 450 main events tonight. Something different for you guys. That is why we were starting a little early. That and the shootout we knew was going to take a little longer. But I know it was some a lot of requests in all chats that we watch both. So trying to get it done for you guys. Trying to make sure that we get all the coverage you can for you. As riders kind of getting ready to head down to the gate, let me kick this on over to the track cams, see if we have any kits or anything from any of these riders. Some big names in this LCQ. These shootouts always breed great racing because we get to see the top riders from the East and West Coast kind of battle it out. Does seem like coming into tonight that the West was going to be the dominating factor, just by qualifying times alone. But when it comes down to racing, though, we will see. We got Shim in here, 450s. Shim, fast rider that we saw. It was that MXL. Actually, take the overall win.
I believe so, yeah.
That was the MXL AM night, Wednesday night. He was absolutely flying. Like I said, there's some big names in here.
Yeah, I'm looking over this list as well, and I'm starting to see some names that I actually recognize. You know, we got Bear in here, we've got Ocean, we've got Fear Murder. I mean, like, these guys have been around for a little while. They definitely know how the game rolls.
I say Dr. Geo. He has been a name that has
Geo,
been
yes.
climbing up the ranks. Some unfortunate racing, though, past few weeks. Had some unfortunate mistakes. Once again, though, always got to shout out the man Bear. Always see him in the chat. Always supporting us. Always has some clean kits for us to take a look at week in and week out. He's got that Arai helmet on as well that you don't see often. I'd say ignore the Poboso boots. Must not have those models. But we got that SIRL.
He forgot to pack them in his bag. You know, just gotta.
He's borrowing someone's boots.
It's funny, we're sitting here talking about him. He posted in a chat down here that he'd almost missed this.
I know he said he had lost audio in the heat race. And he's got that SIRL logo on the bike. That old kit. Super clean.
I don't know what it is about the audio, but sometimes, like, when I'm on the track riding, I feel like I do better without sound.
Yeah, there's definitely times that I would say that it no sound actually works out better. I think racing, though, it's a little bit of a struggle.
Until somebody comes up your inside.
I think maybe if I just turned my bike sound off, I could probably do better. I think it throws me off on, like, how much throttle and when to give it throttle.
Chat, who are some names that you guys are watching for in tonight's LCQ top 4 advancing on to the 250 main event? Shout out who your riders are in the chat. Your buddies there. Or does Turbo went... Oh, Turbo, he did end up in the LCQ. I didn't even see him in here. Yeah, he is definitely one to watch out for. Murda. Another big name that we are seeing here in the LCQ.
Thinking MX term could be a sleeper pick. Maybe Excite.
Yeah, Coltrane calling out Fear there, Fear Murda. He had an unfortunate first
30
few
seconds
laps.
ahead, huh? Whew.
Pretty bold.
He had a rough few laps getting into that heat race. He's definitely looking to make a charge, make a statement in this LCQ, prove that he doesn't belong here, and that he should have been going straight to that main event. But once again, I do not think it's going to be easy for him, as we have some pretty heavy hitter names in here. Like I said, McLovin, I know, is a strong rider. Bear, Enrique, I know I've seen him up in the top. That BERL and Cloud Suspension. Couple big shout outs as we kind of get ready for the LCQ. Obviously, the man Splash, he did gift you subs the other day. Always like to shout out the homies. If you don't know who he is, he does suspension work. He also does some coaching as well. So make sure you check him out. Check out his Discord. Hit him up if you're looking for any suspension needs, and or if you're looking to get better at the game. Make sure you hit him up to do some one-on-one trainings with him. I know he's been killing it with that and has had a lot of good traction for it. Bryce in the chat confirming that as well. Additionally to that, obviously the SIRL series, huge shout out to those guys. Pressure for making this all happen. Wouldn't give us the opportunity to broadcast if it weren't for those guys hosting. They also have a number of sponsors that are making this series kind of work. So always love to shout those guys out. I believe, just kind of off the top of my head, Normsco being one of them. All the guys at Normsco, I'm a little biased on that one. I am a Normsco rider, but those guys absolutely kill it with all the gear sets. As we get into more of the 450 classes, we're definitely going to be able to see some of their stuff. Pro Precision, Crank over there at Pro Precision, setting bikes up. I know he is working with SIRL on a few extra things. I don't know if anything's public, so I'm not going to say anything. But make sure you keep an eye out for Austin Crank over there. I believe AOMX is a sponsor of the SIRL. Speed Photography Dean. He does some phenomenal pictures. If you ever want to work with him, get some backgrounds made for your computer, desktop, anything of that nature, make sure you hit up him at Speed Photography. Sure Visuals and B-Rod, setting gear, bikes. Once again, make sure you check those guys out. And then last but not least, Cloud Visuals. If you're looking to get an edit done, anything of that nature, make sure you guys reach out to Cloud. I think he does like minute or 30-second edits pretty cheap. And some of his stuff is absolutely awesome. So make sure you jump over there if you're looking to get any edits done. And then obviously anybody else that I missed. Anybody that helps out through all of this. Any of our mods. Big shout out to those guys for being able to host these races. And then once again, obviously big shout out to the guys in the booth with me. I feel like I'd run out of things to talk about, especially during times where we have some server errors. And so big shout out to you, Seymour and Matt.
Was glad to be here, man.
Yeah, absolutely. And
Best seat in the house.
yeah, no doubt about it.
I try and bring the best camera work I can to everybody. I try and do pretty much everything freehand. If there's anything that you guys in the chat want to see differently, definitely let me know. Trying to just grow this, get better week in and week out. Additionally to that, if you guys do redeem any channel points, you actually can call out specific riders. So if you guys have a rider, usually as we get into more of the main event stuff, you can call out a rider and we'll watch them for a lap. So if you got any homies in there, make sure you redeem those channel points. You're in there saying 2025 SIRL custom tracks by Austin. Okay, I've been a little bit behind on some of that. I wasn't sure if that was public info or not. But yeah, Crank is going to be putting out 2025 Supercross tracks. And then just kind of looking through the rest of these comments.
Oh, we're on the gate here.
Oh yeah, his
We are
riders
loading in.
heading down to the line. And get the camera set up here.
And just real quick, yeah, Brock, as long as the Daddy issues didn't delay the program, we'll be streaming both mains.
Yeah, that is the goal. We don't want to keep people too late. We know it's a Sunday night. A lot of people got work in the morning, so we try not to keep everybody up, especially the guys on the East Coast. Not quite sure what just happened here. Did the server crash? Did I get kicked? What happened?
It may have crashed.
If anybody's in that LCQ, did anything just happen there? Anderson, are you talking to me? Are you saying that my mic's a little low, or my co-host here?
Server crashed.
He said, yeah.
Always answers it. Says the lobby is back up.
Let's see if I can jump over here real quick. Killa saying special ed, I bet. Oh boy. Killa in here types out one word at a time.
He likes to build the tension.
The suspense. Yeah, I'm sitting here waiting for him to finish this sentence now. Yeah, and Anderson, if my mic's too quiet, I try and keep it at a decent level. I know the last time I had it cranked, people were yelling at me that it was too loud. Hey, Anderson with the Prime sub. Appreciate that, brother.
Let's go.
Yeah, those of you that don't know, if you guys are on Twitch and you have Amazon Prime, you do get a free Prime sub. That does take away any ads from any watching from the special media streams. So make sure if you guys have that, connect that up, shoot that on over. Anything that I get basically coming through the stream is basically just going to get wrapped right back into just bettering the community and bettering the streams that I can provide. A big shout out Anderson there. Thank you, brother. Which do we know which one it's supposed to be here? Is it this bottom one?
Oh boy.
Let's see. Bear, yeah.
Big Bear says the bottom one.
Big Bear apparently is the bottom guy.
He's a bottom guy. Bottom fella. I do believe those Prime subscriptions renew every month. You can come back and click and renew for a whole month.
Yeah, do you know if you have to do it yourself, or I don't think you can...
I believe you got to come in and do it yourself every year. It doesn't automatically listen to me, month.
Yep.
You have to come back in every month and resub.
Well, hopefully that shouldn't be a problem. The plan is to be streaming pretty much every week we get throughout the rest of the year. Additionally to that, like I said, just growing the channel as much as possible. Like I said, I got some big things coming here in the near future. Working with some awesome series and awesome guys to just bring as much content as I possibly can. Right now we're doing every Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So if you guys are ever bored and want to hang out, make sure you guys jump on in and hang out with us. Other than that, like I said, we got some big things coming. There's a lot of new series and like that coming through. But a few of the guys that I am working with got some big prize pools, some big sponsors that they're working on. So I'm hoping this MX Bikes community is still growing.
Watching a chat over here, and I'm just glad to see that I can bring some people to the channel over here. Epix is a buddy of mine. Shout out. Y'all can check out him too as well. He does a little streaming on some Call of Duty every now and then.
Hey, good shit. What's up, brother? Welcome on in.
Oh, and as I'm talking, another fella shows up. Glad to see some of my homeboys joining in.
Yeah, love to see it. Love to see it. Like I said, if you got friends that want to come hang out, definitely make sure that you're shooting us out to everybody. Instead, trying to grow this community and this channel as best we can, make it an awesome place to come hang out. And like I said, at least right now we're every Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
Yeah. So if I got a fungus on it, or if I did it with yoga,
We
or
had
what. I definitely did not have a good toenail for quite some time.
heck yeah, Cam.
Yeah. I'll see if I have.
Think someone's old lady's talking in the background.
It ain't me. All right.
Looks like Viez said he hit us with the follow. Appreciate it, brother. Said definitely make sure you guys hit that follow button, get those notifications when we go live.
Any growth yet?
We are hopefully getting this up and running here
yeah.
soon.
Seeing what the delay is. While we're waiting, who do you think is going to pull the whole shot?
For one couple that were.
What's your pick? I mean, we got a stacked house here.
I was going to say, I think Fear is going to run away with this. But to that, I mean, Turbo, we've seen him starting to charge his way up to being a pretty household name. Dr. Geo, another one that has the speed. He's just got to try and stay off the ground. Bechtel, another big name. I know chat's definitely had their opinions. Bear, another fan favorite. Bear's not a big favorite of himself taking it, but yeah, it's definitely going to be some good racing. Like I said, top 4 are going to move on to the main event. So this is definitely do or die time, and always breeds some great racing as we're about to get into it here. It looks like riders are heading down to the gate.
Sorry about that, boys. I stepped away for a carton of ice cream, and I came back with leftover acai.
It looked like he showed up just in time. We're loading in the gate.
All right. We were just kind of taking a look down the line. Seymour, who do you got taking the whole shot and taking the overall here in this 250 LCQ?
Trippa Snippa on the whole shot. Fear Murder on the whole LCQ.
We had 2 Fear Murders. I guess I'm gonna, you know what? I'm gonna go with Ocean on the whole shot.
I think it might be a different Ocean that we're normally used to. But it does look like 30-second board is down. Revs are up. 250 LCQ coming at you. Who is going to grab the early lead in our whole shot? Ooh, some carnage in the back. Everybody seems to be getting through relatively smooth. Fear Murda is going to grab that early hole shot. Him and Zertz battling it out. We do have MXB Aiden in that number 3 spot, and Drake right now sitting in that number 4 has Sauce and Ocean, Dr. Geo, and Tripasnippa all right behind him. Turbo, another name that we know has the speed to be running in this top 4, kind of buried in the pack. As it does look like Zertz is going to get the pass made on Fear Murda. He's going to triple in, does not go for the triple quad. Still riding absolutely flawless through that section, as we are seeing some pretty big carnage in the back here. Seeing if we have any names.
Pass made early, you're going to want to make that stick if you're Zertz.
Yeah, most definitely. I know when this LCQ, I mean, the top 4 are going to make it through no matter what, but you do not want to be on that bubble. As it looks like we still have Zertz out front, Fear Murder in that number 2 spot. Sauce actually making his way up into the number 3. Drake, Sauce goes down.
Sauce goes down.
That's going to allow Drake and Turbo up into our 3rd and 4th positions. Fresh, Sauce, and MXB Aiden I think MXB Aiden did fall out of that qualifying spot. Like I said, top 4 making it through. As we have a battle back here for that number 5 spot. They're going to whip right into each other. Neither rider going down. Both going wide. Both casing the triple in. This section is definitely going to be an interesting one, especially as we kind of continue through the night. Those look like Fear Murda was able to get the pass made back on Zertz. Zertz is going to dive to his inside, battling it out for this 250 LCQ, number 1 position. Two riders choosing different lines here as we come through the sand.
First around the inside again.
Side by
himself up for
side.
another inside.
This is a different line choice here. One's going to go double over. The other one's going to go triple on. It's going to set them up absolutely bar to bar.
Man.
Another different line. Zert's going to make just a little mistake, not getting the triple in, but not losing too much time to the man Fear Murda on that AEO Canvas KTM. Does look like we have Turbo still lurking back there in that number 3 spot. These guys have started to break their way from the rest of the pack, but for that number 4 spot, Drake making a little mistake. It's going to fall back and now have his hands full with MXB Aiden Fresh. Fresh is going to
Fresh up the inside on the Suzuki.
Inside, not going to get the pass done, but that is an interesting line. Oh, as he almost lands on MXB Aiden. These guys absolutely duking it out to be into that main event for tonight's 250 East-West Shootout. I'd be curious to see what region these guys actually belong to. I wonder if there's any point contention. I know Fear is a decent way up in the, I believe, the East. So this is definitely crucial that he makes it in tonight.
Yeah, that is an interesting point. Some of these guys, they could be in a top 10 points position and be proud of it, but not even make it tonight just because of the conjunction of the coast.
Right. Like I said, the West was definitely a dominant, at least in qualifying. We're seeing Fear Murda still running in that number 1 spot. Turbo with Sure Visuals, AEO, and number 2. And Zertz, different teams finally that we're seeing. We got Vision, CDS, SLD, and RZ. He's a popular man when it comes to the sponsors, running in that number 3 spot now as Turbo is going to make his way into the number 2 spot. Taking a look back to that number 4 spot battle. Oh, as Fresh is going to punt Drake. Oh, and then Karma, like we've seen in the heat races, he is going to go down hard. And that is actually going to allow MXB Aiden to take that number 4 spot. Drake on the Moto Factory seems to have a few mistakes falling back to that number 5.
Another mistake. Boys are absolutely buzzing to get in on this bubble position.
And that's going to allow Henrique with the BERL and Cloud Suspension KTM to move up into that number 5 spot. Right now, he is the man that can make a difference on if MXB Aiden is going to this main event tonight. It looks like Excite is going to
Excite with a huge cut.
Trippa Snippa going down. Ooh, McLovin and Drake going to get tangled up over the triple. Somehow McLovin not going to go down. These guys still battling it out. MXB Aiden and Henrique not able to get over the finish line double. Going to allow Excite into that number 5 spot. I said MXB Aiden is holding on to that last qualifying position as we come into these last few laps, or last lap, I should say. Just kind of zooming back out, we do still have Fear Murda putting a 3.5 second lead now on the man Turbo. And in that number 3 spot, Zertz, still in that comfortable position. If you're in this top 3 right here, you just want to get that bike across the finish line, because it looks like Fear Murda is going to get that done as he is heading to the main event. Same thing with Turbo, with Sure Visuals, AEO, and Zertz on that Vision CDS KTM is coming across in the number 3 spot. Now let's take a look back and see where our final battle is here. Excite dive into the inside, gonna get collected with MXB Aiden. Henrique on the BERL. It's gonna come down to the wire.
Can he get it?
Henrique is
It
going to
is
take the
Henrique
number
takes the number
4.
four spot.
position. Oh my
Wow.
gosh.
Like I
I
said, you
said,
just gotta
Ignite just
love these
murders it.
LCQs.
I got a feel for MXB8 in there, but oh my gosh, that was ballsy Excite.
I mean, that's what we love to see here on the LCQs. That is what the fans love. Last-ditch effort from Excite. Unfortunately, does not get the pass made. Makes a mistake and allows Henrique to actually come from that number 6 spot all the way up into that qualifying number 4. That just shows that you have to stay in it to win it. Henrique charging his way up through the pack and gonna slide into that final qualifying position into this main event tonight.
Excite knew that he messed up, but he didn't even cross the finish line, just retired.
We got Splash in here. What's up, brother? I was just talking about you earlier, shouting you out there. Was looking for you and making sure that you were tuning into the streams. McLovin coming across that finish line. I don't think Excite's going to be a fan favorite if if you are a fan of MXB8 in there. And let's see if we can't dive over. I don't know if we're going to be whitelisted to any of the 450 stuff, at least of right now. Like I said, I know we are going to be getting into both main events. At least that still is the plan. Kick it on back to the booth here while I get this loaded up. Yeah, Kira said because Henrique was right there behind him. I mean, that's all it takes. You don't necessarily have to be the fastest guy. Sometimes you just got to be the most consistent. And if those guys are battling it out, well, maybe it's time to just hang out and then slide into that qualifying spot. MXBAEO saying, Splash, is that a lawnmower?
That is the Normsco Husqvarna. And if
That
you
it
need to cut your
is.
grass really fast in style, you need to get you one.
Nobody does it better than me.
Oh, Kira saying that Excite had 3 seconds of cuts.
I'll tell you what, Excite made it exciting.
Definitely did there. I was gonna say it seems like that ocean was a different ocean than the the other ocean.
Yes, it's not the ocean we're used to.
Says King's calling him out here, saying he just started the game 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago.
If that's
I don't
2
know about
weeks,
that.
that's impressive. I may need to see a screenshot of hours on that one because that is quite impressive. If that is only 2 weeks.
2 weeks worth of hours. It's 24 times 14. SSW suspension says, all right, who's going to do it? We need that mower model swap. There's a chance that some of the guys over here at Normsco could maybe make that happen.
Oh, I'm sure they could. Just kind of taking a look. It does look like we are not going to be able to get into the 450 heat races. It looks like they have already completed. Looks like at least just taking a look at our main event list. Let me see if I can load these results. From our Heat 1, Neon actually taking the win in our Heat 1 packs with that Sure Visuals in number 2, Rax in number 3, Doug in 4th, Cloud in 5th, Durain Marat in 6th, Austin with the Race GFX team in 7th, Keegan in 8th, Prada in 9th, and Cheesy one step out of that, heading to the LCQ. A couple names in there as well. Seawalk, Parker, Slow, Gooey, some of those guys heading to that LCQ. Taking a look at that heat race number 2. C Young with EDC DMS taking that number 1 spot. Caden on that AEO canvas in number 2. Trogman with Prospect Designs in 3rd. Transcend in 4th. Reed with Finesse Co. in 5th. Chase with the Cold Hearts in 6th. The man, the myth, the legend, the points leader in that 450 Supercross series is Coxie on that Normsco SPX team. He finished 7th. Thunder, a name that we know from the MXL, in 8th. Dizzle sliding his way into the main event directly in that number 9 spot. And a few names just to mention as we look down the rest of that list heading to the LCQ is going to be Shim, man, that we see in the chat quite often. Joman on that Normsco as well, back in that 14th position. Mirzi on the Normsco in 19th. And Jimmy with that ECDB. Looks like he's going to be in that number 20th. So some big names once again heading to that 450 LCQ. Not quite sure if they raced yet. Take a look. Don't believe so.
I think they're going to LCQ now. Also, I see a familiar face over here in the chat. Shout out Fremo. How you doing, brother?
Big motion in the chat. As you can see, another VIP tag there. If you guys, if I recognize you, I start seeing you in the chat from time to time, hanging out with us, I will will end up giving you that VIP tag. So make sure you guys are tuning in with us whenever you guys get the chance.
Shout out to Vibe in Hawaii. He says, "I pull up." That's an OG.
Anderson redeeming that hydrate. Most definitely, sir. I got you. There's some big names in that 450 class that I don't necessarily recognize. So gonna be interesting. And C Young, at least in the series so far that we've been running, have not seen C Young in here. Trogman, if anybody know who that is, he also making a name for himself here in this SIRL Supercross series. Please forgive me if he is a top pro and I just don't recognize the name. And obviously,
you're not allowed to make mistakes.
Obviously, though, these guys absolutely flying out here. Like I said, our points leader Coxie with that Normsco, finishing back at least 14th into the main event. So it's going to get interesting as we head into these mains. Oh, Casanova. Okay, that's why I didn't recognize it. Thank you, Moto Shark. Yeah, definitely a very, very fast rider in the MX Bikes community. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, he's a title winner, right? In area?
Yep. The young boy.
That would make sense why he's taking that heat race number 2 win.
Yeah, I'd say the guy's pretty good.
Yeah,
Why
he's
the
decent.
name change?
I know.
That's what I want to know.
Some of these guys are. There's been some talk about going to more, like IRL names. And I'm not quite sure why. I think it's heading towards more of that iRacing style of competition. So it's definitely interesting to see. And honestly, I love to see it.
I don't know anything about that. I think Casanova just wanted to be like Seawalk and I and just join the trend. Seawalk, Seymour, C Young. Come aboard, pal. Just kidding, obviously. Well,
All right. Well, if you guys are listening, 450 LCQ is up. Make sure you guys get on into that server. And additionally to that, 250 main events are posted. So make sure you guys jump into those as well. Anderson, Definitely see you in the chat there. Good luck, brother. I'm guessing you're heading to that LCQ. Are you? Or no, you went right to the main event. What am I talking about? I watched you do it. Shim and Thunder talking Wednesday. Like I said, if you guys don't know, MXL, those guys over there run a great series. They run a pro class on Monday nights, and then Wednesday nights is an amateur class. A few names that we see from time to time, like these guys in here, Thunder, Shim. Like I said, always love to see some carryover between the series. All right. See if we can't get things rolling here in this 250 main event. Unfortunately, we're not going to get the 450 LCQ just timing wise. It is 10 o'clock over here on the East Coast, so making sure that we get everybody in bed at a reasonable time. Go ahead and kick my stream on over. See if we can't take a look at some lit kits. Maybe as a booth, maybe as a stream, we'll vote on who's got lit kit of the night. Beasting out here. I'm loving this bike so far.
Here says 3 a.m. for me and gotta wake up at 10 a.m. That's dedication.
Akira, you're in Australia, aren't you? If I'm not mistaken, I remember you're in Aussie. No, UK time? I'm mistaken.
Ireland.
Oh, Kira, Ireland. No shit.
One of the Irish lads, huh?
Tonight is gonna have some great racing. I'm really excited for this main event here. Some big names, a lot of points to be made or lost here in these East-West showdowns. I believe all of our, at least main guys that are in these points chasing, is in these main events. Just trying to take a look over here at some of the point standings that Pressure has put together. Looks like 250 East Panda with that race GFX team. Seems like he may have ran away with this one. Is 53 points ahead of Ethan with the AEO team. Actually, a name that I'm not seeing on our list here tonight. Caden with Phil's. Once again, do I see him in here? I don't think so. So some big names out of that 250 East not making it in tonight. That 250 West group, once again, an absolutely stacked group. I'm trying to see if we had a closer points chase. I believe so. Max and Fear Murda running in that number 1 spot. He was able to squeak in through that LCQ. Max. Y'all see Max in here? MAKS.
16.
Oh yeah, right there he is. So he is making it in. Once again, these guys' points are 15 points apart. So definitely could be a big shakeup between these guys in this 250 West points chase. Smud's also in that conversation, sitting about, what would that be? 8 points? 8 points behind Max. We definitely see the man Smuds in here as well. Brock W on that AEO canvas. Actually, as I say that, all top 4, they're all AEO Canvas guys.
Go figure.
What a stacked race we're gonna have here tonight.
This is a good one. There's some big names in
Absolutely
here.
populated.
We do have a few bikes that are slightly different than the rest. Ford Shot with that Cold Hearts. These guys have, they're starting to figure some things out. Chase over on the 450 class actually taking the win last week in the 450s. So he's looking to duplicate that again. I know he's trying to bring a few of his teammates along with the success. We'll have to see if Ford Shot's able to keep up in that matter. To have Patron there on the Dookie. I actually think we have 2 of those, one being Kelso as well. I'm gonna look around. I don't think I have many 250 setups, or at least 250 paints. I know a lot of these guys, like the AEO guys, I should have a lot of their stuff, but I don't even think I see any of them out here. And King, another MXL guy. No, he is fast. Come down to Zerts and Max. Once again, another name to be looking out for as we get into this main event. We got Max's gear. That's that canvas gear that we've seen a few of these riders running. The AEO team making the switch from FXR to canvas. Who are you guys looking out for in this 250 main event?
I think Brock Dobby is a pretty easy pick. Just want to shout out King for banking it to the main event here. I see him in the MXL amateur class quite some time, ripping.
Most definitely. Matt, any input on who you think's gonna be in our contention for the main event tonight?
Well, I haven't been here on the Supercross race quite yet. But I gotta say, last time I was here in the booth with you, we was on some outdoors, and your man Kozak was doing pretty darn good. He seemed very consistent, so I think we need to keep our eyes on that guy.
Kozak is
Brock
a
W's,
very fast 250 rider.
very fast guy. Brock W's definitely fast. We all know that. So those 2 right there are really probably my 2 picks right now.
Fair enough. It's interesting. Neither one of y'all picked our points leaders. Looking to have some shakeups tonight in this 250 East-West shootout. Just taking a look at chat before we get things rolling here. KTM 450 is so good. Yep, most definitely. Yeah, the KTMs they're taking back over again. Thought we were going to see some difference. Obviously, we do have 2 Suzukis in here, but
2 Suzuki's, a Husky, and I'm not quite sure what that other bike is.
All right, riders heading down to the line, getting our camera set up here. Just another sea of orange once again. Like I said, I think my pick on the night. I'm gonna.
It's so hard to choose.
I'm gonna throw a wrench into this. I think Max has something to prove here. He is chasing down Fear Murder for that overall points lead. So I'm gonna say Max because he's got something to win here.
Like that. It's a good pick.
All right, 30-second board is up as we are getting ready to go racing for the SIRL 250 East-West Shootout. Revs are up. who is going to be our whole shot winner. Gate is down, and we are racing. We see a Suzuki get a solid start from the middle there, but it's going to be a sea of orange and a big pileup. Kozak going to get the early lead, but makes a few mistakes. Going to allow the man Beaston with that Sure Visuals KTM out to the early lead. Smuds, Jax, Panda, Bates. There's the man Kozak as they get tangled up with Patron. Is Beaston coming across the finish line so far in that number 1. Smuds coming up a little short. Going to get collected by a few of his teammates there. Jax.
Carnage.
Panda. Anderson. There we see the man Kozak, omnipotent of Kelso on that Suzuki. Henrique, the guy that made it through by the chin on it, the hair on his chin in that LCQ. The man that I called out, Max, with a rough start here, looking like he is all the way back there towards like that 18th position. These guys still battling out hard. Anderson, the man that just subscribed today, big shout out to him, running strong. We jump back up here towards our leaders as Beaston just absolutely clean air and is checking out here. I think the last time I saw that, it's probably almost a 6.5 second lead. King and that Aero KL Designs KTM Fear Murda, who we saw win that LCQ into that number 3 spot. Anderson with the Anderson Graphics Company into that number 4 spot. Smuds trying to make that pass happen. Brock W, another strong rider that we see in this 250 class, trying to make his way up to the front. Tons of AEO guys as we're seeing those canvas gear sets. Turbo, another LCQ guy, trying to make his way up to the front, staying inside that top 10.
Great racing here early with Beaston out to a big gap. He's going to want to keep this bike on 2 wheels and keep riding that consistency as he's dodging motorcycles over the finish line.
Say Fear Murda charging strong, moving into that number 2 spot. Looks like a lot of these riders choosing to just double into this rhythm section, taking the more conservative route, not trying to triple in. We're seeing Panda, the 250 East points leader, tripling in there.
Like Brock was trying to make a move there.
We got a whole pile of people coming through. Looks like Brock W
getting a good drive on that.
Not going to have the correct line there. His teammate Smuds trying to get around the inside of him. Smuds going to come up just a little short, trying to dive to the inside of King now. Ooh, gets a little contact. Both riders able to keep it up. Oh. Coming up way short. Got that suspension working hard for him. As Anderson's going to move him out of the way. Going to allow 4 other riders up the inside.
This is an impressive pack.
Right, the whole race is within 2 turns of each other, except the man Beaston on that Sure Visuals KTM trying to run away with it. I would also have to agree that he probably has lit kit of the night just because we have both bike and gear set of his.
Amazing.
He is absolutely flying, but it does look like Brock W is going to get around Fear Murda as well. Brock W
got
on a
11
charge.
minutes left in this race. Can Brock W pull this off? I mean, Beaston is just so consistent, so smooth to this track. There's a huge gap.
Yeah, but like you said, 11 minutes, 6.5 second difference.
Anything can happen.
Looks like Beaston is still tripling in. Ooh. Just making it through there. Brock W is going to dive to that inside.
Nope, he doubles.
Going inside, on, off, triple, double. Seems to be the most consistent line through here. Like I said, a few riders still airing out that triple. Looks like Brock W has chosen that the risk versus reward was not great enough for him. Both these
that
riders,
gap might be closing up just a little bit here. Brock W is definitely a hard charger.
Easton with that sure visual still riding strong. He's coming through another lap in that number 1 position, still hitting all of his big lines. Looks like about a half a second difference that Brock W has shaven off the lead. Brock W still choosing that inside line. His teammate Fear Murda, who is actually our points leader on the 250 west side, having a few little mistakes of his own. Still have a big pack of riders battling it out. This is everything from, let's see, where's Smuds at? That's 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. That's pretty much 6th to 13th all in one straightaway. Is Kozak, Panda, Anderson, Turbo, King, some big names kind of buried still back in the pack. But when you have a stack class like this, it is definitely a hard thing to do is move your way up through. We're starting to see another 10th of a second shaved off from Brock W. Gonna have to pick up his pace here a little bit or hope for a mistake from Beaston.
They're now getting into where they're in the same section. And that's it's amazing time to just reel in that gap there.
Look at the absolute gap that Brock has put on Fear.
Yeah, I was to say, these two guys absolutely flying. Already put 12 seconds on Fear Murda, who is somebody not to be messed with. As like I said, he is our 250 West points leader. Has proven that he is a top rider. So he's going to make a mistake and actually allow Max to close up on him. Max is number 2 in that 250 West points. A bunch of their teammates still charging hard. Panda in the mix there. Bates with that, what is that? Celeb Creations Vision? Yep. Rest of this pack as they coming through. Everybody absolutely flying. Everybody choosing to dive to that inside line. Anderson, who was running up closer to that top 5. Few mistakes, going to fall back to that 14th. But it does seem like in this race, one little mistake is going to cost you quite a few positions. We are still keeping an eye out for our leaders here. It does look like Beaston still stretching out that lead on Brock W. Still tripling in. As I just take a glance over, big shout out to the man Pressure with the subscription. Really appreciate it, brother.
He said stupid ads had to sub. If there's one thing I know about Pressure, it's he's impatient, and those ads certainly pissed him off. So he subbed.
Like I said, I unfortunately got to make money somehow. If you're like Pressure, if you're impatient, you don't like those ads, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button. Like I said, it helps us out a ton. Gives us the ability to keep providing better and better streams for you guys. But as we jump back to the action, Beaston with that sure visuals, almost 9 seconds now ahead of Brock W on that AEO KTM. Beaston absolutely flying out here. Still hitting that triple in, making it look easy. Brock W still choosing to go to that inside line. The rest of this track is pretty much one lined except that section there. Fear Murda's got his hands full now with his teammate and points battle Max. As it looks like he is going to try and get the pass made up the inside, and he is going to get that pass made. Going to be a drag race back down the start straight. Ooh. Has a little collision into the back of him there. Fear Murda's not letting him by. Who's going to get the drive? Max going to try and dive to this inside here. Try and scrub that.
Fear Murder's doing such a great job holding him off.
Ooh, gets back to the inside, not letting him get by. Both riders coming up over that triple there. Thunder said Beaston is literally Max Verstappen. He is still holding that about 9-second lead over Brock W. Max and Fear Murda holding each other up is going to let Kozak start to close that gap a little bit here. These guys keep playing with each other too much. That may allow Kozak into that conversation of a podium position. Oh, and it does look like Beeston may have had a little mistake as he is starting to get into some lap traffic. He's actually going to lose about 2.5 seconds to Brock W. It is always the hardest to be that number one spot coming through the lap traffic, as these guys don't know you're coming yet. And then all of a sudden they're getting past and they don't really have a ton of time to react. Sitting in that number 2 spot, they definitely have their eyes and ears open by the time you're catching up to them.
And still just putting in an incredibly consistent ride.
Seeing Brock W come through that whoop section. Looks like both Brock W and Beeston have their bikes dialed for those whoops. Pressure in here saying Beeston is legit. He really is. I mean, he didn't do the greatest in that heat race. Was able to make it straight to the main. Now proving that he belongs up on that top step. As he is still tripling in, even with some E-road. Making it look so easy out here.
Guys are all incredibly impressive.
Neon saying
Brock
this.
W may be a little bit of a lapper issue as Beeston's extended that lead further than it's been all moto now, here with about 3 minutes left. And your boy Max, hard charge.
Well, it looks like he was able to get the pass made on Fear. Like I said, that is a points battle. Wasn't sure how that was going to kind of take place come this 250 East-West shootout. We're still looking back. Brock W back to about that 8.5 second lead. Trying to close that in on Beeston as they're getting through some lap traffic here. There is Max in that number 3 spot. Only about 6 seconds off of Brock W. And it now looks like Zertz is going to get... Now, Zertz is a lap down. Apologize for that. Anderson, same thing, is a lap down. Big shout out to those guys, though. Absolutely flying out here. It's impressive to even make it into this main event. We're seeing Fear Murda come down that whoop section. This section is so tricky on a 250 to get that second triple clean. There it is. Kozak, though. Only about 5 seconds off Fear Murda. Okay, once again, that battle for the 250 West points could get interesting if Kozak catches up to Fear Murda. Beeston and Brock W, though.
Looks like Broxton reeled that gap back down.
Trying to see if I can find where they're at. There they are.
There's Brock. Yeah. They're back
Beeston.
in the same section again.
Only about 4 second differences. We still have a minute and a half in this moto. We have a lot of lap traffic coming up here for the man Beeston. He's going to come charging down, already lapping Panda here. Another strong rider. We see Brock W lurking in the background there.
Gap's all the way down to 4 seconds now.
Yeah, 3.5. This could start to get interesting as we get down to the end of this moto. Like I said, lap traffic can definitely play a factor when it comes to these leaders coming through the pack.
And your boy Max isn't too far off of them either. He's starting to come into play.
You see Brock W trying to get around some of this lap traffic as Panda. Oh, and Panda's going to collect Brock
down
W.
hard.
Oh, man.
What a bomber.
That is terrible.
That sucks.
That's why we respect the blue flag, ladies and gentlemen.
Brock W was on an absolute charge there. Gets a little unlucky with a lapper. It's not in the clear here, though, for Beeston, as he's going to just clip that triple, but still going to get over the next one. Looks like Cooper going to move out of his way there.
Just got a note from Chad over here. It says the points leader is in 15th and getting lapped.
Ooh. Oh, yeah, that
That
is
is
Panda.
Panda.
Yeah. I think he's pretty much got it secured. I don't think Ethan or Caden were racing tonight. So unless something crazy happens,
Brock W having another issue right here.
yeah, it looks like Beeston is gonna continue to pull that lead just a little bit, as white flag is gonna be coming out for our man Beeston on that Sure Visuals. Has pretty much led this thing the entire moto, still making that triple in look easy.
We could see a battle out of Max and Brock for second place, though, with this happening.
Yeah, and taking a look at timing and scoring, they're only 0.3 off each other. I always like to try and keep an eye on the leader as we come into this final lap. Beeston absolutely flying out here. Has lapped his way all the way up into that number 12 spot.
I'm seeing Max is now in the second place spot. What happened with Brock? Oh, it's got to be cuts.
Yeah. All right, coming down the start straight one more time. Our man Beeston on that Sure Visuals, a name we haven't seen often, is going to take our main event win for our 250 East-West Shootout. Brock W coming across the line in second, but Max is going to take number 2 with cuts only by 0.2. What a hard charge from Max there. Great ride from both these guys, as we are starting to see Fear Murda and Kozak. Kozak did reel him in, was not able to get the pass made. It's going to be Fear Murda and Kozak coming across in that number 4 and 5 spot.
Incredible ride from Beast in there, basically from the whole shot of lap 1 all the way to the end, start to finish.
Ooh, and just real quick, Smuds going down in the last turn. Turbo going to be coming across the line in 7th. Smuds in actually 9th. Ford Shot's going to take that number 8 spot from him. Shark in 10th. Omnipotent coming across in 11th. Patron in 12th. Cooper in 13th. King with that arrow coming across in 14th. Zertz 15th. Panda. Rough night for Panda on that race GFX KTM. Is like I said, he is that 250 East points leader, actually going all the way back to 16th there. Anderson, big shout out to the homie for subscribing to us in 17th. Carbon in 18th. Zoom in 19th. Jax in 20th. Enrique in 21st. And the man MXer or host in 22nd. Once again, big shout out to you guys hanging out in the chat with us. See the man Pressure in there. What's up, brother? Yeah, we're actually gonna jump on over, make sure we are able to catch this 450 Neon. Pressure said server is up, so don't be late.
See, we got our man Nadine in here with us finally.
Oh, looks like Pressure is waiting on us, so let's make sure we jump on over here to the 450. Haven't been able to watch much of these guys, as the 250 East-West Shootout has been kind of our main focus of the night. Oh, he said no rush. Well, definitely though, going to be interesting as we get into this main event. Some big names jumping into this series late. Going to be able to kind of mix up some of this points a little bit. I know we have a pretty close battle here for the lead between Coxie on that Normsco, usually on the KTM, and Neon running that FXR. Only about 13 points splitting those two up. They have a pretty healthy lead over third Greg the Legend. Not sure if he is racing tonight. But it's definitely going to be interesting. I did hear Rax is racing tonight. We've missed him for a couple weeks. So good to see him back in here. And once again, if anybody's ever watched these streams, we know that Rax can put some crazy laps down, and we'll have to see if he is able to shake things up once again for tonight. Taking a look through, yeah, it looks like we have a few of the Normsco boys hopping on in. What up, Dean? Like I had mentioned earlier, Speed Photography. If you guys are looking for any pictures or anything like that, make sure you hit up Dean over there. See the man, Cognizance. He is the Normsco owner. What is
Boss
up,
man in the
brother?
house.
Yeah.
CEO, suit and tie.
Boss man. Everybody
Wasn't
straighten up.
sure.
Boss man in the house. Boss man in the house.
Wasn't sure too. Let's take a look at some of our.
Look at this
450.
runner up. This I already see some big names.
Yeah, this is going to be a great race. I mean,
When
just
Cog
kind of.
enters the stream, it's like the principal sitting in the back of the class. Everybody's on their straight and arrow, back straight.
There's that red plate on the number 9 of Coxie. Looks like he knew we were talking about him.
He said run a tight ship.
Looks like Mirzi on the Normsco also getting in through that LCQ Seawalk as well. I was actually just trying to pull up those LCQ results from the 450s. We weren't able to watch those as those happened just as the 250 main event was happening. Looks like Seawalk on that Normsco bike taking that number 1 spot in the LCQ. D Mills on DMS EDC in number 2. Mirzi once again on that Normsco KTM in 3rd. And Nathan with AOMX PPFS rounding out that 4th position. Cheesy, Shim, Parker, unfortunately not making it in the night. Packing it up a little early and watching the mains from the stands. I always got a big shout out over here to the guys at Normsco. Bike's always super clean. The attention to detail is crazy. Everywhere from the names and numbers on the jerseys, the helmets.
Look at my man Seawalk.
And
actually,
actually,
made it out of the LCQ there. I know that he had to go through that.
Yeah, he actually won the LCQ.
Oh, nice.
And actually just kind of noting here too, the man Seawalk on a different bike here tonight. Usually seeing him on a Yamaha. Little change up.
Mirzi said, let me get in the picture here.
We got the man Dizzle, always looking clean as well. Love these Husqvarnas. That white, black, and yellow always looks so good in their FXR gear sets. If we can't take a look at some of these other riders, a lot of these guys sending in their kits, packs with Sure Visuals. Like you had mentioned earlier, Sure Visuals always dialing these guys up.
Every single time.
We got Transcend's gear set. Transcend, a new rider over here on the Normsco team. Like looking great. Or the gear set looking great there.
You notice he's got FXR gear on, and the rest of the guys wear Alpine Stars. Transcend has a personal sponsor through FXR, so he's got a unique look.
Looks like everybody is synced in. Sorry about that. Didn't mean to cut you off there. Pressure was asking.
All good.
All right, let's see who else we got. Any other gear sets? Oh, looks like they are getting ready to head down to the gates here. Give us a good opportunity to take a look at who we got. Neon finally getting his bike and gear into the game. It's taken a few weeks, but we finally got it. That bike is very clean looking. Once again, got that canvas gear set from those AEO guys. Got Pax, Transcend, jumping over to the other side of the gate here. Oh, as revs are up for our 450 main event here in Nashville.
Boogity boogity.
Let's go.
Let's go racing. These guys absolutely flying down the start straight. Pax going to be way out front on that. But it actually, yeah, no, Pax is going to get across the line in
with
number
the whole
1.
shot.
Some mistakes and carnage early on. His rider's getting tangled up over that little double. Seawalk jumping off the side. Transcend getting tangled up in that as well. Where's our points leader? There he is, Coxie. Looks like he was able to get through most of that relatively clean. Let's take a look back out front. Pax on that Sure Visuals. KTM looking strong. The man Rax, another name to be watching out for. Doug, same thing. Oh, and Rax is going to make the pass for the lead already. Guy is absolutely flying. I don't know how he does it. Pax, Doug on that RD FR KTM. Doran, Marat, LMC, Coxie, Keegan, C Young on that EDC DMS Yamaha. There is Cloud. You guys don't know who Cloud is. He does make suspensions as well. He's a sponsor of the SIRL. They said he does edits as well. Make sure you guys go check him out. As we are watching the rest of this pack come through, there is Neon, number 2 in points, back in that 13th position, trying to charge forward and catch up to Coxie, who is running in 4th place right now. Coxie trying to make up as many points as he can, as these guys finished side by side last week. He's going to slide down to the inside of Nathan and Transcend. Going to make that pass stick. Oh, and taking a look, it looks like Doug is going to make the pass on Pax here. Going to try and mount the charge to catch up to the man Rax on that AEO canvas. Here's Doug on that RDFR and TGR. Pax on that Sure Visuals Cloud. Once again on that SLD FXR and CDS KTM.
He walked a little bit buried in the pack here.
Say some of the homies taking a look back. Like I said, Coxie in that 6th position. Neon starting to make a charge up into 8th now, at least on timing and scoring. Yeah, it looks like Mirzi and Seawalk struggling here back in the 21st and 22nd positions. Seawalk still trying to get adjusted to that KTM after coming off the Yamaha. It's like Mirzi is going to get a pass made on Prada there, moving himself up one more position. We jump back out closer to the front here. Neon still battling it out, trying to make his way up through the pack. Actually, looks like he has gotten past Coxie. Don't know what happened there. Coxie actually going to fall back to about 7th there. Cloud, Chase, Dorian, and Neon all looks like getting past him there. Neon absolutely
Making
flying
quick
here.
work of these boys.
He is
Quick.
Making his
Looks
way.
good doing it too.
I was going to say that bike and gear kit looking clean. Looks like I don't have his helmet, but my Troy Lee default helmet doesn't look too bad on it.
Oh, looks pretty good.
Matches well with those red boots there. We jump back out a little further in front of Neon. We have Pax and Doug still battling out between that 2nd and 3rd position. And we are just watching Rax run away with this, as we have seen him do in the past. Almost 10-second lead on an absolutely stacked class.
Just an absolute clinic from Rax. No surprise in a way. As you said, we've seen him do it before.
I watched this guy absolutely clean house on Triple Crowns, on regular nights. He is just a different breed. He plays a different game than I do.
Absolutely.
As he is now 11 seconds ahead of Doug in that number 2 spot. And actually, it looks like it's going to be Pax now, unless I missed him. Yeah. Pax going to be up into the number 2. But Neon making a hard charge. Is he going to get around him on the outside? He does get the pass made. Neon coming all the way from the back, moving himself up into that number 2 spot, getting around the man Pax and Doug. Both riders are absolutely no slouch whatsoever. Coxie in that number 5 spot does make his way back around Chase and Cloud and the rest of the group there. Transcend, I said, the newly acquired Normsco rider, looking like he has moved himself up into that 10th position. Caden battling it out with him there. Trogman with Prospect Designs in that number 12 spot. Keegan with Cold Hearts. Nathan on the AOMX. He was a rider that made it through that LCQ. D Mills, Reed with Finesco. Wheels all the way back there in 17th. There we have Dizzle at that AOMX. Prada in 19th. Seawalk and Thunder battling it out there for the 20th position. And Rax already lapping his way up into this group as Mirzi is running in that 22nd position. It said Rax absolutely flying out here. Has put about an 11-second lead on the man Neon and is now just seeming to be holding that. As we see Neon jumping through and across that start straight. These guys absolutely flying out here.
Curious to see here. I think Neon has the speed to close it down on Rax.
And especially as Rax gets into some of this lap traffic, like we saw in that 250, it can definitely throw a wrench into some things.
Anything can happen out here.
Moto
when you're
Max
talking
saying
about
last to second. Neon, a little mistake there. Still able to get the double out, not the main line on a 450. Mirzi being a good lapper, sliding out of the way for these guys coming through. Honestly, as a lapper, this is kind of the smart move, is to latch on to Neon here. Just try and ride with him to bring him towards the front of the pack. Rax still making his way through some of this lap traffic. Wheels going to cut him back off. I said Rax absolutely flying out here. Makes it look so easy. Like I said, he plays a different game than everybody else.
Oh, he misses the double in. It is tough to be a lapper out here in races like this. This is
Most
from first
definitely.
to 22nd. All these guys are extremely quality races, and they're all in their own individual race here still. As you look through the leaderboard, it's relatively tight, so it's hard for them to want to get out of the way.
I was going to say, I mean, as everybody in this main event, nobody wants to move over. They all have their own battles. As kind of even taking a look back here, Prada, Wheels, and Dizzle battle in and out. I mean, even though they're 17th, 18th, 19th, nobody wants to just pull over and let these guys go by.
And they're all in their own battle. They want to get shit done.
Old Dizzle right there did some much respect for Rax.
Ooh, Rax is going to come driving into the rear wheel of Wheels there. Try and get some different camera angles for these main events. So I'm going to slide into this back corner. Rax absolutely flying. Makes those whoops look like it's a straightaway. Just kind of glancing over at our leaderboards as well. It looks like Neon still running strong in that number 2 spot, about 13 seconds ahead. As Pax still keeping them in sight, only about 5 seconds off Neon. They're actually on that same jump. Doug and Chase battling it out. Looks like C Young made the pass, gets a little squirrely. Now taking
What?
Caden out. C Young
Still
going down
wrecking.
again.
Just an incredibly long wreck there.
Actually going to allow Cloud and those guys to catch back up to him. Transcend, Keegan, Nathan. Man, I was looking for, though, was Coxie, our points leader, has slipped back to that number 6 spot. This could be making things get interesting. I do see some people asking about some lap times. Rax, looks like his best lap time was a 50.3. I think that is probably the absolute fastest you can go on this track. His last lap, a 51.6, and then a 51.8. And I'm looking back for our man Neon. See if I can do this at the same time here. Neon's fastest, actually a 49.9.
Gosh. That's incredible.
Last being
Almost a
51.
half second faster.
He is absolutely flying out here. That lap came from lap 3 where he made that big charge. I'm pretty sure that would have been through some of that lap, or through some of the traffic as well. Pax, his fastest, a 52.3. But as we see, though, may not be the fastest, but still running strong in that number 3 spot. Although he does have his hands full now with Chase, who has been clicking laps off. His fastest being a 51.4. Oh, and of course it jumps to onboard. Messes my camera angle all up. Oh, and Coxie making a mistake going down. Gonna allow Doug and Transcend to get past him. Coxie's best lap was a 52.1. Like I said, he is our points leader, and this is going to shake things up as we move into our final few rounds of this SIRL Supercross series. Chase absolutely flying. I make this comment, I think, every stream that I see Chase in, but God, he is so consistent and so fast. Guy that we have seen on the podium. We've seen him in the MXL. He can prove that he is fast on a 250. He's fast on a 450. Like I said, winning last week's SIRL Supercross round. Looks like he did get around the man Pack, so moving himself into that 3rd position. Not really able to keep an eye on chat, so I'm kind of relying on you guys.
Chat's just kind of entertaining themselves here. Max and Pressure are flirting. Dean is being head of security. Gentleman's doing a little bit of video editing tips. And Epic's is trying to flirt with Coxie.
Fair enough, fair enough.
So chat is a what do they call it? A self-oiling machine.
Once again, you guys that are listening, make sure you guys hit that follow button, get those notifications. You guys have probably heard me say that a few times tonight now. But we stream every Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, so make sure you guys are tuning in to those. Like I said, I always love
Pressure's asking for a beer, so if anybody's close to Tennessee, Pressure needs a beer.
I'll say, I think Pressure was saying this is his hometown race, so it makes sense that he has his hands full. As Rax is still holding a very strong lead, has opened that gap to about 16 and a half seconds now over the man Neon on that SLD FXR CDS. Number 3 is going to be Chase. Actually, we usually see Chase on a Yamaha. It's kind of interesting that a few of the guys that are pretty diehard Yamaha riders making the switch over to the Austrian bikes for this round. Don't know if they'll continue that or if they are going to be switching back to that Yamaha. Looks like some of that E-Road over there getting absolutely gnarly as we see Chase make a mistake through their packs, starting to shark back in on him. Coxie looks like he was able to regroup. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off there.
Oh, yeah, you're good. This just in from Dean. Coxie is up to 5th.
Oh, Yeah, made his way back up into that number 5 spot. Looks like they're making their way through some of that lap traffic, actually passing his teammate there, Seawalk. Doug and Keegan starting to battle it out now for that number 6 and 7 spot. Seawalk trying to move out of the way for these guys, looking over his shoulder. These guys side by side. Let's see who gets the better drive through the whoops. Looks like Keegan is, but it's going to get bumped a little wide. Going to try and dive back to the inside here. Both riders going double, triple. Ooh, Keegan with a much better drive out of that turn. It's going to get the pass. Ooh. Gets the pass made on Doug. Doug falling back now into that number 7 spot. Looking back for our number 8 rider. His Rax is lapped all the way up to 8th spot. Trogman on that Prospect Designs Yamaha. Running in that number 8 spot. Looking back, there is our man Caden and Transcend battling there for that 9th and 10th spot. Thunder, big shout out to him, even though he is being lapped there. Always seeing him in the chat, giving us the support there. Dorian back in. He must have missed a timing gate. He is in 22nd. Fortunate there for him. Nathan in that 11th spot. Wheels in 12th. Cloud unfortunately falling back into that 13th spot.
Looking at these times, Neon must have either found a good rhythm here somewhere, a secret somebody don't have, or another gear, because he is chopping away at this gap that Rax had.
We do still have about 3 minutes left in this moto, plus a lap or so, so there is time to be had. Although it does look like Neon may have had a mistake on that lap. Rax pulling it back to about a 16-second lead. As we're seeing this E-Road starting to get pretty gnarly. The whoops starting to get cupped out.
That's what I noticed about 2 laps ago as we went through the whoops there. It's showing a lot of Keller.
It's like Pressure saying E-Road isn't that high. These tracks are just boo.
Well, I don't know if the tracks are boof, but I know the new bikes completely dig a new way. So even on low E-Road, it E-Roads, I guess, properly, so it's more visible.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I've talked to quite a few of these guys up on the podiums now for the past few weeks, whether it be Supercross or Motocross, and honestly, a lot of these guys are enjoying the way it is E-roading. Makes it a little more realistic and actually slows the pace down just a little bit. I know there's definitely some holes and stuff that they got to get figured out moving into the new tracks come 2025, but it seems the general consensus is a lot of people like it. And
It's just finding that fine line on how much E-road to run. These new bikes just E-road so much differently than the old ones.
Oh, most definitely. But at the same time, though, I mean, just in a typical Supercross or typical motocross track, and you're not going to be able to hit the same line every single lap after lap. I mean, things are going to change. Like we see there, Rax, little mistake, not able to triple on. He's changed up his lines. He's doubling in now.
Yeah, for sure. Every lap can be totally different from the last.
And I think that's good.
Just make note there, even with the line choice and the roughness of the track, Rax is lapped now up to 6th place.
That is absolutely flying. Yeah, we see Keegan there. And actually looks like Pax, few mistakes, is going to actually allow Coxie to get around him. Pax cartwheeling through the sand. Pax was 1 point running in number 2, falling all the way back now to 5th there. Rax going to move him out of his way as he is lapping his way through. Only about, it looks like they're going to grab an extra lap as Rax crosses the line before time expires. Here we have Coxie now running in that number 4 spot, trying to hunt down Chase as we can see him coming through the rhythm section opposite of Coxie. Jeezy saying Coxie's going to podium for sure. About a 4-second gap there. Coxie definitely has the speed and consistency to make that happen. But unfortunately, he is chasing Chase, who who does not make a lot of mistakes. He is a very consistent rider. As we see, white flag is coming out as Rax is making his way through. Going to make a little mistake there. He has got plenty of time, though. He now has 21 seconds over Neon. We're going to watch Rax this final lap.
Just incredible how smooth he is at the speed that he's going.
That's the part that I say he plays a different game. I mean, I think a lot of these guys could put down crazy fast laps, but when it really comes down to each main event that I've watched of his, it just seems like he never makes a mistake.
Yeah, no, I completely agree.
He is coming down that start straight the one last time. Rax on that AEO canvas. Husqvarna, a choice that not a lot of riders were making tonight, is going to take our main event win in this SIRL Supercross. Taking a look back now for our number 2 position. Where is he on track? There he is. Neon coming through the sand one last time. Putting that SLD FXR CDS KTM number 2 spot. Chase with the Cold Hearts race team. Where is he? There he is. 45 seconds behind Rax there. Like I said, Chase, a winner of last week, going to be in number 3 Seawalk. Strong ride back. There's Coxie.
Coxie with number 4.
Actually, the points leader, only going to lose a few there to his rival in the series, Neon.
He really got so close to Chase there at the end. I watched it go all the way down to inside a second, and then he must have had a bobble there and it went back to 5.
Got a big shout out. Looks like we got about 40 people in here watching. I said, love to have everybody in here hanging out with us. Looks like chat was absolutely blowing up the whole time during that race. Once again, huge shout out to Rax. 25-second win is quite a feat when you're looking through the rest of this field with Neon, Chase, Coxie, Pax, Doug, Keegan, Caden. There's some big names in here and just absolutely flying. It looks like we did have a few guys retire. Chase, yes, most definitely. You guys want to jump into the booth? We can definitely get some interviews going. Thank you, Dean. And Dean always on top of it.
I was just going to say, Dean is on top of it tonight. From moderator to security, from chat entertainer, he's doing it all.
Get this man a raise.
Well,
we just got to get him in the booth more. If the man would stop working so hard.
He's got the voice.
He does. I love having him in the booth. He's always a great asset to the team. Give me 1 second here. I'm going to go ahead and free up some room here.
We got Chase on the podium if you want me to drag him in.
1 second here. Click on over to our podium. Yeah, if we want to go ahead and bring him on in.
Yo!
Mr. Chase, what is up, brother? getting pretty used to talking to you up here on this podium. Absolutely phenomenal ride here in that main event. This is a stacked night. I mean, a lot of big names in here. Saw you kind of come your way through the pack there. Take us through kind of that ending there, and thought we were gonna have a battle on our hands between you and Coxie.
Yeah, we almost did because I decided to flop around like a toddler or a fish for like 20 seconds after the whoops there.
Yep.
Honestly, for the place I got, I rode atrocious. I can't even lie to you guys. The only thing that I think saved me was I was still sending the quad.
Yeah,
Well,
I
I
that's
don't know
always
if
a
you
good
guys saw
feeling.
that. I was
Yeah.
taking like the outside line coming to the quad. That's not even really like a rut. It's like a flat part of it. And I think
Okay.
I was one of the only ones still sending it. I think that's the only thing that saved me.
I think you might have been the only one doing it at that point. Even Rax out front was just doubling in from the inside.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I guess that leads me to my next question. With the whole conversation around these new OEM bikes, what was the E-Road like tonight?
It was pretty cooked, as per usual. Like, but I honestly kind of like it because I'm finding a bunch of alternate lines, and that's how I'm doing so good. Everyone else is still stuck in the rut of like taking the same line every time nonstop for 30 minutes. And I'm
Yeah.
actually taking alternate lines, and it's helping a lot compared to the other riders. I will say the sand was completely chalk though. That kind of sucked. Like you
It
kind of
looked
had to
rough.
take the rut. There was like the rut was still faster, even though how deep it was. There's no real other alternate line there, so that kind of sucked. But everywhere else, you can take an alternate line pretty much anywhere.
Yeah, I know. I see some guys in the chat here. They're saying keep the E-Road where it's at. I think it's cool to see new lines come out of these tracks. Like you had mentioned, having to explore tracks. I mean that's real life. I mean you can't take the same line over and over through a whole moto, especially with the caliber of riders we have. Lines change, lines develop, and lines get ruined. So it is interesting
Yeah,
to see that that some different line choices are almost forced upon you. Um,
yeah. I really enjoy it, honestly. I really enjoy the alternate lines, partially because I'm catching everybody and nobody's figured it out yet. But I'm really enjoying myself. Shout out
yeah,
to Aiden from DDC for letting me know about that after our battles in my daddy.
fair enough, fair enough. Yeah, and then just one more question for you. Obviously, seen you up here on the podium a few times. Seen you in some other series racing. Uh, the switch to the Husqvarna, I usually see on the Yamaha. What made that decision happen?
Honest to God, I'm almost forcing it at this point because I really just want to ride a meta bike. Because I've tried the KTM and the Husky the entire season, going back to it like probably 10 times, trying to get it, and I could not wrap my head around it. Honestly, I'm really liking the Husky. Today I was a bit rusty, so it wasn't a true representation, honestly. I just came back from a 3-day road trip to Alabama and literally got on my computer 20 minutes before qualifying. So if I was a bit more warm, I could probably do better. So we'll see about that next week to get an actual gauge of how I feel about the bike. But I really like it. I'm like almost like a half a second faster than I was on the Fantic.
Wow. Yeah, no, I mean, well, you definitely proved it, taking third place in an absolutely stacked class here tonight. Um, Obviously, always wrapping it up here. Anybody you'd like to thank?
Cold Hearts boys, as per usual, to the boys and Kelso hanging out in VC, being a real one. CBS suspension on top, of course. Apart from flopping around like a fish, that seems to be a problem. Uh, but no, that's it, man. Thank you guys
Awesome.
for hosting.
Yeah, of course, man. Well, once again, congratulations on a third place tonight, and hopefully we'll see you next week.
Yes, sir.
Thanks, brother. Awesome. Also, to that, obviously, we had the 450 guys in here. If we do still have any 250 guys listening in, um, I'm trying to think who do we have as our top riders? You guys remember, chat? Anybody remember who our top three was? You guys are listening. Definitely jump into the Discord, jump into our podium, and we can drag you on in. would love to have some conversations around it. I know it's been a little bit now, but also to that Neon, if you're listening in here, Rax. I don't think I've ever gotten Rax on the podium, but see if we can't get guys in here and give their 2 cents and give the shout outs that you guys wanna give. Oh, there it is. So yeah, it was Beast, Max, and Brock W was our top 3 in 250. So if you guys are around, jump on into the Discord. Love to have a quick chat with you. Outside of that, I mean, Matt Seymour, what did you guys think? How did things go?
I thought the racing was actually surprisingly clean. Track developed well. Bikes seemed to be handling well. Other than the LCQ incident, everything looked well. Looked fun.
LCQs are always an interesting
Yeah.
watch. These guys definitely know what they're doing. They're able to keep their lines, and get around each other. And the lapped riders are really good about moving to the side and letting these leaders kind of just jump out there and do their thing. So impressive race. These guys are. I mean, wow, it's impressive. After I've played a game quite a bit myself, and just seeing how these guys can jump through there, like the 2 guys that won first place in both 250 and 450 motos, just like it's just hard to sit here and watch and go, am I really watching a game right now, or is this real life?
Some of these guys
They
make
do
it look so easy.
such an amazing job to these guys. Yes.
Awesome. Well, it looks like that may be it. I don't think anybody else is going to be jumping in. Maybe. Oh, I just had a couple welcome notifications. Maybe your boy Epix there looked like he jumped in. But outside of that, no, it looks like that is probably going to wrap it up for tonight. I know we're starting to drop some viewers here. Big shout out once again to everybody in the chat hanging out with us. You guys, you make it so much more interesting and love the conversations between each other. Obviously, big shout out to everybody that is hitting that follow button. The guys hitting subscribe, kind of dodging the ads. Once again, that just supports us so much that, like I said, you guys, anything that gets brought into the stream is basically just going to get turned around and brought right back into the stream. It's not paying for my dinners or anything like that. So it's just going to be bringing better quality streams for you guys and some more features that we're hopefully going to be kind of developing and trying to stand out from the rest. Obviously, big shout out to the SIRL guys. Pressure, once again, you absolutely kill it with running these series. And this, I know that the East-West shootout was not easy. A lot of a lot of manual efforts, but seemed like it went pretty smooth. Obviously, everybody that's supporting the SIRL series, big shout out to you guys. And then obviously just Matt and Seymour. Thanks, guys, for hanging out with me. Thanks for co-hosting with us.
Thanks for having me, man.
Yep,
Thanks for
of
having
course.
us. It's always a freaking blast.
Of course,
Boys
of
are
course.
buzzing on the track. Can't get enough.
Awesome, guys. Well, once again, thank you everybody that's hanging out with us. We will we'll catch you guys tomorrow for MXL Pro. So definitely make sure you guys are jumping in for that. If you guys aren't signed up or don't know what that series is, make sure you guys go check them out on Discord. Check them out in the MyMXB. You want to talk about stack classes as well. It's 250 outdoors. They're doing a mixture of some of the US and MXGP stuff. They got some pretty decent prize pools. And then, like I said, make sure you guys are sticking around as we got some big things coming up here in the near future as we get into more of the Supercross season. Outside of that, I hope you guys have a great rest of your night, and we'll catch you later. Peace.